Hi, this is Ian Coleman from PIA FX. This is this week's video analysis for the 24th of September 2018. As always, we're going to concentrate on the dollar index, then break down into the FX majors to highlight what we're expecting or what we're looking for this week and where we have our bespoke support and resistance levels. So I'm going to start off with the dollar index. We've had a 5-wave pattern, Elliott wave pattern to the downside, then an impulsive move higher. An evening doji star formation on the weekly chart, which normally highlights the top of a trend. We've had some follow-through selling. However, last week we did stall, reverse, making a low of 93.81. We did have some bespoke support at 93.90. So we are expecting some upside pressure this week. So we are now between bespoke support and bespoke resistance, and we're going to be looking at selling into dollar rallies over the medium term. So our bespoke resistance is at 94.90 at the moment. If we get a reversal from that area, then we're looking for an AB equals CD formation to the downside to around about 91.83, might push to this 61.8% extension level at 91.55, which is also close to a previous swing low. So selling into rallies around about 94.83. And if we go back and we look to this chart, let's just delete that. Okay, again 5-wave impulsive wave to the upside. Then we've broken this formation to the downside. Now the reason I've highlighted this is because we've got reverse trendline resistance at 94.82, which basically marries up with our bespoke resistance. This looks like a head and shoulders breakout, so a retest of the breakout level, and then a continuation of that dollar move to the downside. So like I said, we're looking at some dollar strength at the beginning of the week, but for a medium-term calls, we're going to be looking at selling into that dollar strength. So reversing that back onto the dollar majors, euro dollar first, we should therefore be looking at buying in dips. We're actually between bespoke support and bespoke resistance at the moment. Resistance is at 118.75, support is at 116.43. Now our bespoke levels, they do move, so there is a scope, especially if we don't see an aggressive sell-off at the beginning of the week, there's scope for this to move higher and perhaps get up towards this reverse trendline support, which will be coming in around about 116.65. So again, looking at buying in dips for the next drive to the upside. Sterling dollar's quite an interesting one actually. We also had that aggressive sell-off on Friday. The immediate call, I suppose, would have to be to sell into rallies, but we have got some bespoke support at 130.39, so there's a potential to see a bounce earlier on in the week, and we wouldn't be looking at selling sterling dollar around about current levels, and in fact we're very close to support also on sterling yen. And if I just look at my sheet, sterling Aussie and sterling CAD, so with the correlation factor as well, we'll be very wary of selling sterling around about current levels. So selling into bounces, I suppose, early on in the week, 131.70 area is Marabouzo, and then for a further drive lower. But we are looking for losses to be limited. We are looking for a reverse head and shoulders pattern to form. So in other words, this now forming the neckline, this being the left shoulder, this being the head, and then coming down to form this right shoulder, and then to break to the upside. Dollar Swiss, we're still looking at selling into rallies, but higher rallies this week. We got close to the 61.8% pullback level at 95.24. We've formed, suppose we could call it an inverted hammer on the daily chart. We've got bespoke resistance at 96.98, and then up around 97.75, which is also close to the previous swing low. Was support, now becomes resistance. If we're looking at dollar yen, again, not as aggressive as the other dollar pairs to the upside, and the fact we've got an inverted hammer formation on Friday, the scope for some downside pressure. Support is seen at 111.83 going into this week, and then at 111.53 excuse me, being the reverse trendline support. Dollar CAD. Now we want to show a few things here. We've got a Marubozu level, which is the midpoint from the open and the close of a strong bullish or bearish candle. Last week has left a Marubozu at 129.72 resistance. If we go to this chart, we've got resistance as well at 130, the figure. So it's looking like we've got a 5-wave completion. Bullish bias at the beginning of the week, but like I said, this sort of area looking to attract some selling interest in dollar CAD. And if we look back over previous price action, we can see that this area has been quite pivotal as well. Aussie dollar between bespoke resistance and bespoke support. 73.17 is resistance. Thinking about that sterling Aussie where it's close to support, I do wonder whether or not this 73.17 is going to hold. So really, at the beginning of next week, looking at selling into rallies around about 73.17 and quite strong support at 72.28, which is also close to the breakout level of this potential reverse head and shoulders pattern. Euro sterling, and again, this is the strong rally up on Friday. We're just going to show this first. We've got trendline support at 88.73. We also had the wedge target at 88.55 that we've been talking about previously. Going into next week, 89.31 is bespoke support, 89.25 is Marubozu support. So, but again, I'm not sure really if we're going to see a continuation of sterling losses and euro strength, as we've got the potential of a head and shoulders pattern. So the head here, left shoulder, right shoulder, and then neckline. So, but like I said, at the beginning of next week, we've got that sort of solid support, if you like, on Monday, around about 89.31. Euro yen, and this is the last one. We have seen a free wave correction to the upside. Levels close to the 61.8% pullback at 132.58 have found sellers late last week. This week we've got support at 130.92, and if we look and just put this onto the daily chart, let's put it back in a bit, we can see that that area has been quite supportive. Well, it's actually acted as support and resistance for some time now. So that's our immediate support level for euro yen going into this week. Okay, thank you very much for listening to the report, and we'll bring you some more video analysis very soon. Thank you.